For the first one, just use the distance formula so that you will know the distance should equals to this, okay, which will give you 8.6 units. Okay. For this one, if you're going to find out the farthest, that means you're going to find out the distance PM and then QM and then RM and SM. You want to find out which one will be the largest one. So you can set up the equation like this. Okay. So you have 4 minus 2 and then 1 minus 9, and I will show you all. So after you find out all, and then you will find out A, that means PM is the largest, okay? For this one, you should know that you're going to use this result, okay? That is why AB equals to 15. So now you know that K is greater than 0. That means if you use it in this way, that will be better. So let's see. Okay, like this, and then you have K squared plus 12 squared equals to 15 squared. So K squared equals to 15 squared minus 12 squared. So K is actually equals to 9, which is B. Okay? For this one, you should know that what should be the coordinate of B prime. Okay, so if this point is reflected against, okay, the x-axis, okay, that means in the beginning, the point should look like this. So when you have negative 3 and negative 5, like this one, after you do the reflection against the x-axis, then this one, the x-coordinate won't change, but the y-coordinate become 5. That is why if you are going to find out AB prime, you're going to consider B prime like this one. Okay, and then you will have negative 2 minus 5 squared plus 6 minus negative 3, that means this one. So you will have 7 squared plus 9 squared, which will give you 11.4 units. This question is a little bit tricky, okay, if you want to find the smallest slope, okay, and now basically this one will be largest because this is positive, but for these three, which one will be smallest? Okay, so actually that should read from this definition, okay? If you can check out, okay, this one and this one, when two have a larger angle, okay, the value actually will be, okay, more and more negative, okay, for this one. Is it clear? Because when you consider negative 3 and positive 3, okay, obviously like this, but when you consider these two as well, now when you see it, can you see the relation? Okay, negative 1 is greater than negative 3. That is why for L3 actually that will be greatest, okay, in numerical value, but okay, the actual magnitude, because that will be a negative number with a larger numerical value. That is why L3, okay, from conceptual understanding. Okay, for this one, I guess you just have to remember, okay, the definition. Okay, the slope will be the difference between y coordinates and then over the difference between x coordinates. And that is why the answer should be D. Okay, for this question, inclination means the angle, okay, formed between the straight line and the x-axis. And then that is why after you draw the points and then you draw it together, and that is how you set up the equation for that using tangent theta. Okay, if you cannot recognize the reason why, basically this is why. Okay, these two angles, they are corresponding angle given that these two lines, they are parallel to each other. Okay, that is why the theta equals to 23.2 degree. Okay, with the unit degree. Okay, for this question, the key idea is whether you can recognize this angle actually will be the exterior angle of this triangle, And this is the right angle. This is the angle that you are going to consider for L, the inclination of that. That is why you can see the expression will look like this, and then you can find out the value of the slope will be 2.48. For this one, actually you look at the term collinear, then you should know that means these 2 points or these 2 points, they are having the same slope, okay? In the sense that this is what you have one straight line and then you have this one like this, okay? That is why I build up the relationship between them by using the slope, and at the end you can solve the value of unknown k. That should be -11. For this one, basically you should know this point, the coordinate should be 0, b, okay? Because, okay, this is on the y-axis, so the x-coordinate is just 0. And then, using the area, you will know that these two multiply give you 27, okay? These two, base times height divided by 2, okay? And then you can find out b is equals to -6. The slope will be equals to the difference of the y-coordinate divided by the difference of the x-coordinate, which gives you -2/3. So the answer will be B here. Okay, for this question, basically you should know that you have to use this properties, collinear. That means you use the slope, and then you can find out the value of x here, that is 15. And the next problem will be about the ratio of the two triangles. Since they share the same height, that is why when you compare AB and BC, then you will know the ratio between them. That is why you have the area of them to be 1 to 2. This is the ratio. So for this problem, you are going to use this properties, which is they are parallel. That is why the slope of them will be the same. And these 2 points, you know that this one should be 0, 5, and this one should be 5, 0. That's why you have find out this one. The slope should be -1, and then this one will be the slope of L1. For this question, you are going to use these properties, which is they are parallel. That is why the slope should be the same. And this one is given. That is why you have -1/3 equals to this one. And then you solve the equation, and at the end you have x equals to -6. Okay, for this part, you can see that you will see these two, they are parallel. That is why the slopes will be the same. And by make use of this relationship, and then you can find out y, okay? What is y? Y is this coordinate of b, okay? And after you solve out b is 0, -6, then you can find out the distance between a and b. That means the length of AB. So the answer at the end should be B. So for this problem, basically you can find out the length of AD and BC in this way, and then you can compare them, and you know that this is correct. And then for the second one, about the slope, okay, so you can basically calculate the slope of these two. When you know these two, they are the same, that means they're parallel. Last one, you are going to check whether this one is a parallelogram. That is why if you find out the remaining two straight line, these two actually they are not parallel. So this is not correct. So the answer will be 1 and 2 only. For this problem, you use this relationship first, okay, and then you can find out A and B, the relationship like this, okay. Just make use of the slope relationship. And then for the area of this one and this one, you look at the formula like this, and I omit the positive side and negative side because area is always positive. And after that, you can see that this is also correct for this one, okay. But for the last one, probably you can see that these two, you can prove it at the end. It is not twice. That should be quadruple. Okay, that means 4 times. So the answer will be 1 and 2 only. For this question, the first step will be you find out false slope of them, and then compare which two can give you a -1 when you multiply together. So you have AB and DA, multiply them together. That's why this one will be the answer, okay? Because only these two multiply give you a -1, okay? Very important. For this problem, that is easier because you just have to use this relationship, which is they are perpendicular to each other. So the slope of down multiplied to give you -1, and then you solve it, and you have ML2, that means slope of L2 is 5/3. Okay, so for this one, basically you just have to use this relationship. Okay, at the end you will have this one correspond to AC. Okay, AC perpendicular to DB. That is why when they have the slope multiplied together, you have -1. Okay, that's it. And the answer will be -5/7. Okay, here. Okay, for this problem, you can see that first of all, we use the slope of AB to find out the inclination, okay, like this way. So you can find out theta, that will be 71.6 degrees, okay. And then for the second part, you are going to see whether they are collinear. So you find out the slope of AB and the slope of BC, and you'll see that they have the same slope. That means they are collinear. Last one, you find out the slope of CD, okay, that will be -1/3. So when you consider product of AB and CD, that means the slope, you have -1. So this one is also correct. That means in this problem, D should be the answer. For this problem, basically you can find out the first one, you have to find out the slope of each straight line, and then you compare which two can give you -1. If there is one pair, then they are perpendicular, and that is a right angle triangle. Okay, so this is correct. And for the second one, when you compare all length, okay, you have AB, AC, and BC. You see that AC equals to BC. That is why it is isosceles triangle. For the last one, because the slope of BC should be equals to the slope of the intersection and the point joined to C, because they are collinear. That is why I set up the equation like this. For x will be the coordinate of the point. At the end, you have x equals to 23/8, but that is not 2. That is why the answer will be 1 and 2, that means A here. For this problem, it is about the midpoint theorem. So you can see that this point actually is the midpoint, so you add up these two coordinates, then divided by 2, you will have it. You have A. Okay, and then for the second one will be 4 plus B divided by 2, you will have A plus 1. So we have to set up the equation, and you find out the value of A first, and then you find out the value of this A plus 1, and then you can solve B. Okay? For this problem, it is using the section formula. That is why you can see this is the cos, this is the cos, and then that is why when I do this problem, I just tell you you have to remember the relationship, so you can see the pair like this. Okay, 4 times 3, okay, 2 times 1. And then for this one will be 8 times 1, 8 times 1, and then -2 times 3, -2 times 3, like this. And the denominator will be 1/3. And after that, you have this one with you. So the answer will be C. For this question, if you draw the point like this one, and then you can basically solve the equation for 1 times this one, 2 times this one. So you have 2x. That means here you have 2x, okay, and then 7 times 1, okay, divided by 1 plus 2 equals to 1 here, okay, and then you will have 1, okay, sorry, y times 2 and 4 times 1 here, and then 2y and 4 times 1, so divide the 1 plus 2 and you have -4, okay, and then you solve it, and this is your answer at the end. Okay, so for this problem, you just have to draw the diagram, and then you can see it is very straightforward. And normally we will let it to be 1 to r, and then you can find out the ratio. Okay, so you consider the x coordinate, okay, then you have this relationship, and then you find out r equals to 4/3, okay, and at the end you will find out the answer should be boy. For this problem, you just use the section formula accordingly, so that you can see, okay, if you draw the diagram here, and then you can just do the cos checking like this, and then you can set up the equation, and then you can solve the value of x and y. This one very straightforward, okay, you can see that if you know OA to AD, that is 5 and 1, so you can solve the equation like this. Okay, I omit plus 5 times 0, or 5 times 0 for this one or this one. Okay, that is why you have 4 and 6 and the answer will be B. For this problem, it is a little bit longer, okay, but if you do it one by one, you can find it is not difficult. By using M as the midpoint of A and C, you can solve the equation like this, okay, because you can see A and C, and then this is the midpoint, okay, and then you can solve it. After you find out C, then you can just check the slope of MCO and the slope of this BO, okay? And you can see that because the slope are not the same, that means they are not collinear, so it is not lies on BC for the origin. O is 0, 0. And then for P is the point BP to PC, that is why I draw it like this, and then you can solve it. For P, this is the X coordinate, Q is the Y coordinate. Okay, and then this is negative 5, negative 3. Okay, I hope that you still remember this is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3, and this is quadrant 4. Okay, quadrant 4. Last one, you can find out the inclination, okay, because you can find out the slope of MP, and after that, you can see that theta is equals to 74.7 degree. That is why the answer here will be 2 and 3 only. This is only C. Okay, C only. For this one, okay, I just want to make sure that you know this is HH and this is H0 according to the question. They are the midpoint, okay, that is why I have HH, H0. And then set the equation accordingly, and then you can find out all of them are correct. This one, actually, you can just find out the distance, or you can see this is obviously a congruent triangle. This is the same, okay, because it is midpoint, and then this is common side, and this one will be the right angle. Okay, that is why we know it. Okay, for this problem, you can find out the point of P, Q, and R respectively by using midpoint theorem. Add them together, and then you have the midpoint divided by 2, divided by 2. This one as well, this one as well. So at the end, you can solve it first. Check whether the product of the slope is negative 1. If it does, then this is perpendicular. And you also check out the slope of RQ, it is negative 3 over 2, and slope of AB is negative 3 over 2. That is why they are parallel. Okay, parallel. Last one, for AQ and BR, you can check it like this. Okay, this is the last question. Okay, so basically you have to do it one by one. So let's look at this one. You can find out all points, okay, one by one. For P, because it is in the ratio of 3 to 1, that is why I have 3 over 4 times A, 0, to be the point of it. And then for Q, the same apply, you can find it. And then R is the midpoint, so this is the coordinate of R, and this is the coordinate of S. Okay, so you have to make sure that you can find out all coordinates so that you can continue with the calculation. And then I just do it one by one. For PQ, you can see that the relationship will look like this, and then AB is like this, and that is why you know this is correct. This is why this is the correct statement. But the question is about not true, so you have to make sure that you do not mix it up. Okay, and then for the next one will be the slope of RO and OS. Okay, so that is why after you prove it, you know that they are parallel. That means they are collinear. Okay, so basically it is very certain. Okay, you need not do the proof to find out the answer to be B, but I just want to show you why. Okay, so according to the calculation, you can find out the slope of QS. Okay, look like this. Okay, this is QS. But for RA, this is what you have. That is why you can see that it's very different. Okay, so it is not true. Okay, so that is why the answer is B. Okay, that's it for assignment 1.